My name is Tope Babayemi. I'm an arts and culture manager with considerable experience in the UK, Nigeria, and now in the US. Well, I got to England in 1976 to go do A-levels. My parents were there, graduate students at the University of Birmingham. And within 2-3 months of arriving in Birmingham, in the UK, I met up with a group of lads, on the streets. I'd gone to the Fighting Cocks in Moseley Village one day. Still very Nigerian, collar and tie, and suit and coat, and briefcase and umbrella to college. And I was coming back from college, it was cold, and I fancied a shot of brandy. And the local pub, one of the local pubs, the Fighting Cocks, was open. So I went in there, and there was a group of lads in a corner in the pub. And they noticed me coming, see them casting glances at me and whispering and talking to each other. I was overdressed. I was obviously an overseas student, but we were about the same age. So it was Ali. They said, "Oi, come on, you African?" "Yeah, no, I'm African." "Where are you from?" "Nigeria." "Why don't you sit down and have a drink with us?" And I did. And they became my friends, and the main peer group influence on me in my late teens, in Birmingham. So we became friends and saw each other every day. And, that was a period that Bob Marley's induced cultural revolution was happening in England. With the successful albums Catch a Fire and the rest of it. So the black arts and arts that have been in the basements, the shebeens, came on the streets. New set of black dance companies, black theater companies, bands. The punk rock thing was going on simultaneously. So there's a bit of cross-referencing of ideas and of practice, because you had things like the National Front, in existence then. So the Socialist Workers' Party, the Youth Communist League, a lot of hip punk rockers and rockers and other people all banded together, and we had huge celebrations. Counter demonstrations, oftentimes, rock against racism and things like that. So that's how UB40 grew. But as you know, my father, who was an academic, a professor of history before he became traditional ruler, he, being an academic, didn't want his first son being a pop musician. So I was forced to come back to Nigeria to go to university. I had a diploma in theatre arts, University of Ibadan. Then the first and only BA music drama combined honors, University of Ife. Oh yes, right up until, I'm sure if you Google it, you'll see a couple of photographs of my days in UB40 on stage. Le Monde, the French newspaper tabloid, did an interview with me with a good friend who's a journalist, photographer, last year. So yeah, I did right up until April. I think the last show I did with UB40 will be around April 21 or something like that, 1979. And that was University of Birmingham Student Union. That was the biggest that we'd done up until that time. And then, of course, when I went back after my degree, after my 5-year stint in Nigeria, getting educated, and fulfilling the family obligation of not being a dropout, so to speak. When I got back to Birmingham to start my Master of Philosophy, Black Performing Arts, University of Birmingham, UB40 returned from a world tour around that time. I think this was 87 or thereabouts, the Bagger Rhythm tour. So I did a few shows with them in England. Then, that was in the 80s. But by that time, they'd become, stadium playing band. It wasn't just small halls now. They'd become a mega band, basically, doing 2-year world tours. Oh, yes, of course. Every time they've come to Nigeria, when the whole band was together, and after Ali left, Ali came to Nigeria, the whole band came to Nigeria. As I saw them, I've always maintained constant contact with them, especially with Jimmy Brown, the drummer.